Hello, my pre-calculus. In this video, we learn how to evaluate trigonometric functions when given a point located on the terminal side of an angle in standard position. So let's just review how do we know if an angle is in standard position when the initial side must be the positive side of the x-axis and the terminal side rotate either counterclockwise. In this case, we rotate counterclockwise, so this angle is about 345 degrees. And then so your terminal side is where the end of the rotation. So your terminal side end at the point 8, -6. Now the initial side always stay exactly at the same location, which is the positive side of the x-axis. So just make sure you know when we say standard position. So let's begin with the example 1. Let the points 8, -6 be the points on the terminal side of the angle theta in standard position. So in this case, you can see that the angle theta from the initial side is rotate counterclockwise, so it is a positive angle. We want you to find the value of 6 trigonometric functions. So sine, cosine, tangent, cosecant, secant, and cotangent. So the first thing we have to look at is that I'm going to go ahead and sketch a vertical line to connect my points 8, -6 with the x-axis. So now I end up with a right triangle, and I also end up with an acute angle, and this angle right here is not the angle theta. So this angle right here, I'm going to call this is the angle theta prime. So we're going to make a note that theta prime is an acute angle. And we also have a name for this angle, for this acute angle. We call this a reference angle. Theta prime is called reference angle. Okay, so now let's go ahead and in this triangle, we know the opposite with the reference angle, y equals -6. We know the adjacent, so I'm going to label this as opposites. This is adjacent. But we do not know the hypotenuse R, so we go ahead and find the hypotenuse now. So first we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. To find R. So we have R squared equal x squared plus y squared, or R equal square root of x squared plus y squared, and when you substitute now, so therefore it will be equal square root of a squared plus, since y is negative, I'm going to go ahead and put negative inside the parentheses, square, and simplify, you end up with 100 or 10. Now in this case, we just take the square root of positive number, not square root of negative number, because we're talking about the length. So now we have the opposite is -6, the adjacent is a, and we also know the hypotenuse, which is 10. So now we have all three of them. So now we are ready to find the value of the trigonometric function. So let's start with sine. Sine of the angle theta. So it's still sine the angle theta, or it's still the same thing as sine of the reference angle theta prime. So be opposite over hypotenuse. So put opposite over hypotenuse. So in this case, the opposite is y, the hypotenuse is r, and I'm going to substitute. So that will give me negative 6 over 10. And if you reduce this fraction, it gives you negative 3 over 5. Now, since we know sine, we can go ahead and find the reciprocal, which is cosecant. Cosecant of the angle theta is hypotenuse over opposite, and hypotenuse is r, opposite is y. Substitute, so that will give me 10 over negative 6, and reduce the fraction to be negative 5 over 3. Now, you are welcome to put the negative side to either, to the numerator or to the denominator, but you do not put both negative side. We only have one. Okay, or you can just put them in the middle of your fraction like this. So now we're going to move on to the next one. Will be cosine of the angle theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent is x, hypotenuse is r, so substitute be 8 over 10. We reduce the fraction, so it will be 4 over 5. Now, since we have cosine, we can find the reciprocal. These are the reciprocal, not the inverse function, because we have found in the quiz that some of your classmates is still confusing. They thought that cosecant is the inverse of sine. No, cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. And the same thing with secant function is the reciprocal of cosine. So I'm going to flip the fraction to be hypotenuse over adjacent. So that will be r over x. And substitute, your r is 8, your x is 10. So you need to reduce the fraction, so that will give you 5 over 4. So let's look at the next one to be tangent. It's opposite over adjacent. And opposite is y. Adjacent is x. And your opposite, your y is negative 6. Your adjacent x is a. Reduce your fraction, so that will give you negative 3 over 4. So the reciprocal of tangent will be cotangent. So be adjacent over opposite. So substitute now, your adjacent will be 8. Your opposite will be negative 6. So reduce the fraction, so that will give you negative 4 over 3. Now let's move on to example 2. Example 2, we want you to evaluate trigonometric function when the terminal side will lie on the x-axis or the y-axis. So let me give you an example. Let's say we want you to evaluate sine of negative 180 degrees. Okay, so let's get that angle in standard position first. So with this is the x-axis, which is your initial side. So you think about this is where your 0 degree is, and this is the y-axis. So now you are going to rotate your initial side. So you your terminal side will start from your initial side, go until it end up with negative 180 degree. Now if we go counterclockwise, will give me positive angle. So we want to have negative angle, so we have to go clockwise. We have to go from the initial side, we go down. So we here, so this is negative 90, negative 180. So I'm going to make a note right here. So when we stop right here, this will be negative 180 degree. Okay. So now we didn't tell you what point to pick. Okay. So I'm going to make a note right here that the terminal side of negative 180 in standard position lies on the negative x-axis. So now your job is that just pick a point. Okay. So I'm going to say right here, pick a point and on the terminal side. So since this is the end of my angle, so this is my terminal side. So for convenience, we are going to pick the points negative 1, 0. So this case, I'm going to pick the points negative 1, 0. So now I'm going to go ahead and find sine of negative 180 degree. So think about this here. Sine is opposite divided by hypotenuse. But in this case, you can see that you just have a flat. You don't really see a triangle. So your opposite, which is your y. So I'm just go ahead and put y over r. So think about normal triangle. You can see. So this is y, this is x, this is the angle, and this is r. Okay. So sine is y over r. So in this case, I'm going to substitute in y is 0, and r from now on, if I use the points 1, 0 or negative 1, 0, I'm going to go ahead and use my r is 1. So I'm going to put 0 divided by 1. So that will be equal 0. So therefore we can conclude that tangent of negative 180 degree is 0. Okay, let's do one more example. Let's find tangent of 3 pi over 2. Now, if you really like to work with the degrees, you can go ahead and convert 3 pi over 2 into 3 pi over 2 radian into degree. Okay. So that will be so let me just do it right here with you, right below here. So convert radian to degree. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you set up the portion again, x radian over y degrees equal pi radian over 180 degrees. Now we want to substitute what we know. So we know given it in radian, right? So now we just want to look for degree. So therefore right here we will have 3 pi over 2 over y equal pi over 180 degrees. Then y equal, so let me just do a little bit detailedly than this. So the first thing that we have to do, I'm going to do cross multiply. Okay, so here we are. Then we'll do 3 pi over 2 times 180 equal pi times y. Or if I simplify the product on the left hand side, this should give me 90, 180 divided by 2, 90. So 90 times 3 be 270 pi equal pi times y. And I'm going to divide both sides by pi. So therefore y equal 270 pi divided by pi. So therefore y equal 270 degrees. So now I want to be tangent of 270 degrees. In case if you want to work with degrees, so given radians you can convert into degrees. And next you want to get that angle in standard position. So let me just get a very small angle right here for you. So again, this is x, the initial side, or 0 degree, and you know your terminal side will rotate counterclockwise. So 0, 90, 180, 270 degrees. So it stops right here. Okay. So let me make a note. So start and stop. So this is 270 degrees. Now at 270 degrees, you just pick the point. So the easiest point you're going to pick on the y-axis. I'm going to go ahead and pick this point will be the point 0, -1. Let me make it beautiful for you. So now you have x is 0, y is -1. Now tangent is opposite over adjacent. So y divided by x. I'm put right here y divided by x. So just look at the triangle. So my y is -1 and my x is 0. Now every time that your denominator is 0, you will conclude right away that you don't have the answer, or the answer is undefined. Okay, so let's write out the summary for this video. I'm so sorry that this video a little bit too long. I'm so sorry. So the summary. In this video, we learned how to evaluate trigonometric function, given a point on the terminal side. Located on the terminal side. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in class. Goodbye.